Good afternoon everybody, Jamie here, and welcome back to another Jamie Goes Riding. Today I'm trying to beat the bad weather blues and getting out to some back sort of country farmland lanes on my way out to a tiny little town called Goombungee near where I live. Come along for the ride. So I was joking to my friend Alan the other day when we got our bikes. We both bought our bikes at the same time. That the next time there's a drought here in Australia, all we really need to do is buy new bikes and it'll get fixed. It has been crap weather non-stop here. It's been about 10 days or so since I was last out on the bike, which was that crow's nest trip, which you might have seen on the channel already. And the time before that was probably another 10 days earlier still. So, man, as soon as we got these bikes, it has done nothing but rain, pretty much. And I was just looking at the forecast, and it's set to continue raining for the next few days. So, as you can see, it's looking pretty gloomy out. It feels like it could rain at any minute, actually. It's sort of just got that feeling in the air, but I couldn't wait any longer. So we're out on the bike today just to give it a bit of a run, to shake off a little bit of cabin fever and take in some country backlane farmland views. Just need to be a bit careful on this road here. It's ridiculously a 60 zone all the way along here, and the police like to sit just here under this bridge usually with the speed camera because it's very easy to go above 60 along here. I don't really even understand why this is a 60 zone, to be honest, and it stays 60 for quite a long time. I'm sure there must be some sort of sensible reason that I can't see, but like I said, I can't see it. So I'm heading out to Goombungee. Here we go. Wow. Some sort of mega operation going on there. Those all of those police cars actually just flew past me in town. So yeah, something going down. So as I said, I'm heading out to the little town of Goombungee, a tiny little country town, about 45 minutes or so away from where I live. This is about a 90-kilometer round trip, thereabouts. Hey, finally out of the 60 zone, thank God. And you would have seen Goombungee if you watched my first video. I went out to Goombungee. Oh, that might have been my buddy Gary just then, I think. I went out to Goombungee on my first trip, but I came at it from the west along the highway. So this time I'm coming at it from the south, which takes us through lots of sort of lovely backcountry lanes, past a lot of farms, that sort of thing. Lots of agricultural sort of roads. Not the best road surfaces in the world, but a nice ride nonetheless. And I'm just out on my own today. Like I said, this is sort of like it was a bit of an impromptu trip. Wasn't planned. There was just a break in the weather, and I thought I'm going for it because I don't know when I'm going to get another break anytime soon. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this one. It's not going to be an overly long ride, this one, but hopefully it's a nice one. These are the sorts of views we get out here. There'll be plenty of this on the way. What have we got in there? Sheep? Yes, sheep. We're in a 100 zone now, but seems like this car in front of me is adverse to going 100, although to be fair, it's not the best road surface in the world. Probably not the safest road to be bombing along at 100 k's an hour, I'll be honest. So to make this a little bit more of an adventure, I'm actually testing something out on the bike today, and that is my fuel range. So you might be able to see, I don't know how well it shows up on the GoPro. You can see I've got a trip meter there of 142 kilometers. And I'm sitting on about half a tank of fuel, well, allegedly half a tank of fuel according to this fuel gauge. which I've found to be quite a deceptive piece of equipment on this particular bike. And it's just going to be interesting to see what the range on this machine is. I believe I can quite safely get 250 kilometers to a tank at the absolute worst. So we're going to put that to the test today. And what's going to make this interesting is that if that estimate is wrong, I don't really easily have access to anybody who can come and rescue me. So fingers crossed, I suppose. We'll see how this ends up. Just as I was getting all my gear on at home too, my sunglasses fell apart. So I don't know if that's a an ill omen. I certainly hope not. So I'm wearing my backups at the moment, which are polarized through a tinted visor. So I'm sort of like looking at everything through a bit of a rainbow today. Geez, I tell you what, this Kawasaki Z650RS, it was just made for roads like this. The handling on this bike is sublime. I think this is an 80 zone and we're currently doing 70. Well, we've moved up to 70, yes. Again, shouldn't complain. They're not the best roads in the world. We don't need to be tear-assing along here. Here we go. Good luck to you chaps, but I'm glad you're turning that way. So yes, that'll be a little bit of tension for the duration of this ride to hopefully the numbers work out, right? The numbers work out that I should do this with kilometers to spare. And numbers don't lie, right? Right? We'll see how we go. Oh, there's a tiny bit of blue sky trying to peek through up there. Trying. I don't think it's going to have much success. Oh goody, roadworks. Outstanding. The galahs out. Oh geez, that was close, guys. Holy crap. Almost a flock of dead galahs. It's so funny here in Australia, we've got so many beautiful birds, parrots especially, that we just sort of take for granted, you know. You look at something like a rainbow lorikeet. I remember when a friend of mine from America saw one, it was like, oh my god, look at that bird, that's insane. Whereas here they're kind of like flying rats almost, you know, like they're just everywhere. So easy to take things in your own backyard for granted. But we are lucky to have a lot of gorgeous wildlife here. Alright, well, straight through the Warri Works without any stops, which is great. Well, we're going to take the stop sign liberally. That's probably a good thing, I suppose. Everyone saw me stop there. So it's the first day of winter today here in Australia, the 1st of June. It's a 19 degrees the top was today. Beautiful day, perfect riding day, but like I said, the weather's been absolutely atrocious lately and it's going to continue to be for some time. But I'm really hoping for some, at least for the start of winter, some nice clear crisp sort of 16 plus degree winter days would be just the ticket. Holy moly, and look at some of these potholes I'm riding past. Jesus Christ, they're more like pot craters. Gonna have to keep an eye out for those. I've said before that I live sort of up in the mountains, so it does actually get quite cold here during the winter, not optimal bike riding weather. I was unfamiliar, I guess, with the whole concept of seasonal motorcycling, but I understand that now, having moved out here. Look at that view. That's all right, isn't it? Out across all the farmlands. All right. They look like they're going our way. All right, how we look on the fuel? Fuel check, 153 kilometers is the trip meter now. Still sitting on half a tank though. Like I said earlier, a quite deceptive fuel gauge I've found on this bike. It's one of those gauges, and I've had cars that do this, where it stays at full for quite a long time and then very suddenly drops to like 1 bar and then stays on that for quite a long time. Not the most helpful tool, but I guess good practice on your motorcycling to use your trip meter anyway and get familiar with the amount of kilometers your bike can do rather than relying on the fuel gauge. I know my first bike, my Honda VTR 250, didn't have a fuel gauge at all, and it had a manual reserve tank down near your knee. When you started to feel it stutter and sputter, you had to sort of bend down and flick it over to the reserve and find a fuel station somewhere. Kangaroos next 12 kilometers, that sign just said. So this is actually the ride I'm doing today, is a beautiful sunset ride. You get some absolutely amazing sunsets out here, gorgeous sunsets out this way, as you'll see as I get a bit closer. Ooh, we're hanging on the brakes. What's going on up here? Oh, look at that. And that that is exactly why I've decided not to ride out here at sunset. Because while we do have gorgeous wildlife out here, it all becomes active as the sun goes down and sun comes up. And so on these backcountry roads, you often get exactly that situation there, kangaroos just sort of jumping out of nowhere onto the road. And I sort of try and avoid riding these backcountry, or driving on these backcountry roads, I should say, in a car, if I at all possible can do, let alone riding them on a motorbike. I don't really fancy hitting a 120 kilo male grey at 100 k's an hour. No thank you. You can imagine the result of that. So I've come out a little bit earlier than sunset, but I'll show you some of the nice points as we get round there where the sunsets do look gorgeous as the sun goes down. It's not going to be a great day for sunsets anyway, given that it's all overcast. Some cloud cover is required, I think, for a beautiful sunset, but a sort of dreary, semi-rainy day is probably pushing it a little bit, I think. I'll tell you what, not the best road surface in the world, but the scenery's not bad. Now that I've seen that kangaroo jump out, I'm just keeping my eyes very peeled for his buddies. Australia problems, isn't it? I'm sure other parts of the world have random wildlife that jump out in front of them. I hear moose in Canada can be quite a problem and make a real mess of a car. As they would, those things are absolutely enormous. Alright, I need to turn off here somewhere. This looks like the one, which I'll be very glad to do actually, to get rid of these cars that I seem to be surrounded by. Here we go. And we're in proper I just gave the bike a bit of a clean up too after the last Crow's Nest trip, and I suspect I'll need to do so again. I just got hit in the knee by a giant grasshopper. So there's going to be no shortage of bugs out here at this time of year, especially with this sort of terrain. The joys of country motorcycling, I suppose. First world problems, isn't it? Gosh, very green in there. Well watered, obviously, whatever it is that's growing in there. Wonder if I can find like some nice cows or sheep or something close to the fence where I might be able to get a bit of a picture. Maybe a nice thumbnail for the video. See how we go. See what we can find. Oh, that's a tight bend. That's basically a 90-degree corner. Wonder if these girls are feeling very photogenic. Afternoon, ladies. We've got the windmill there too. Yeah, this one might be nice. Might be a nice little photo op, I think. Possibly. Let's have a look. We'll see. We'll see what kind of angle we can get. Ooh. That's a big dip. It's a big dip. Here we go. That's a bit better. That's better. All right. I think we're going to fall over there. Wonder if I can try out a bit of the local tongue. Moo. 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 No? Nothing? All those years spent playing Diablo 2. Wasted. That's a big girl. Hello, darling. Hey, gorgeous. Oh, sweetie. Oh, maybe not a big girl. Big boy. Definitely a big boy. That's a big old boy. Yikers. I apologize, sir. All right. Well, there's a potential thumbnail, maybe, possibly. We'll see how we go as we get on. See if we find another one. The cows weren't feeling very photogenic, especially after we confused Mr. Bull here with a woman. I guess I wouldn't be either. All right. Well, let's push on before the owners of this farm wonder what the hell this weirdo on a bike is doing with their cows. But God, this bike handles like a dream. You just throw it over. It just does. It's like it can read your mind. It does exactly what you want it to do. Look at that. Another well-watered farm. Woohoo! I'll tell you what, it's alright, this motorcycling thing, isn't it? It's alright. Now I'm going to slow down to a stop here. Look at this corner. Look at this, not corner, intersection here. This is... There's nothing coming, but look at that. That's a killer, isn't it? Holy shit. Alright, here comes another one of these sharp right angle turns. Get in there. Horse. Hello? Ah, shame there's nowhere really to pull over there. Oh, around we go. Probably doesn't look as sharp on the GoPro, which makes everything look very distant, but yeah. Basically a right angle, that one. Alright, so Goombungee's just up the end of this road, actually, so we've made pretty good time. How are we looking on the fuel front? 173 kilometres now. Still half a tank, though. The fuel gauge has heard me talking about it, has decided to make a liar of me. I mean, I'm fine with that. I don't want to see it down at 1 bar, thank you very much, when I'm way out here. So far so good. Touch wood. We've got another, what, 70 kilometres until we reach the more sort of conservative end of the fuel range. And it's definitely not 70 kilometres to get back home. So I'm feeling fairly confident, I say now. Remember that if things go pear-shaped in a little bit. Alright, so I'll get up the road a little bit further, we'll get into Goombungee, and I'll talk to you then. Well, no sooner did I turn the camera off, and here we are, Goombungee. Welcome to Goombungee. That snuck up on me. Now, I don't really know anything about Goombungee. A little bit of a riding course there, equestrian course. But I know that my dad, I believe my dad, went to school here. And to my knowledge, there's only one school. So it's got to be this one here, right? I suspect. Goombungee State School, yeah. See if we can get around the front. There it is, Goombungee State School. Now it is a Sunday afternoon here, so before you get all weird in the comments, it is closed. I'm not just hanging out the front of a school like a creeper. But there you go. I imagine this looks quite different than it did when Dad went here. Back when kids used to, I don't know, chase hoops with sticks or throw rocks at each other or whatever kids did to entertain themselves in the 1800s. But there it is. And I think there's another, like what must be like a kindergarten or something like that over there. And there we are. I imagine Dad hasn't seen this in quite a long time, but that's what it looks like now, old man. Our students love their new playground. Well, there you go, Dad. Hoop chasing and rock throwing, a thing of the past by the sounds of it. Goombungee's sort of known locally where I am for these statues that it has. I don't know who made them or what their significance is, but they are quite terrifying. So I'll have a quick look at them. Here they are. Alright, just park up here, I think. Ah, they're a museum. Or a piece of a museum. Alright, well, let's go across. We'll duck across and have a look at these. Have a look at these statues. Well, they certainly are something, aren't they? So I'm not sure if, like, because I'm not sure who made them, whether they're like a school art project or something like that. I'm hesitant to critique them, but geez, they've seen better days, haven't they? My God, they really are. They really are nightmare fuelish now. Oh, goodness gracious me. Yikes. Yep, that is proper nightmare fuel. If you ask me. Oh, there's another one down here, look. Hiding in the trees. It looks like it's got kids' artwork all over it, which is what makes me wonder, you know, was this a kids' school project and am I sitting here being a bully? But interesting critters anyway, aren't they? Well, I'll enjoy seeing them again in my sleep later. Fantastic. Let's push on. Alright, so I'm on the road out of town, out of Goombungee now, which you would have seen before this road if you watched that first video of mine. This is the one I was riding on as I was sort of sharing my thoughts about coming back to motorcycling as I turned 40. And whenever we get up to a rise, I mean this way over there, that's west, which is why you get such beautiful sunsets out here, because it's just open, clear ground. And it just looks absolutely lovely. Oh look, a horse doing a crap. Outstanding. Day made. Look at this, I mean, come on. I am pretty spoiled where I live when it comes to lovely scenery for motorcycle riding, that's for sure. I can't complain at all. So I switched the camera off prematurely last time because I'd sort of finished saying what I wanted to say, but this time I'll take you all the way back out to the highway and past a mountain. Well, it's more of a hill, they call it a mountain, called Gowrie Mountain, which again, if you can get on top of at the right time of day, on the right day, you get some spectacular sunsets, absolutely amazing sunsets. And you can see again, that's west. So you can just imagine what it looks like at sundown in the right conditions. It's beautiful. But as I said, due to the wildlife, not something I'm going to chance on this particular ride. I haven't tried overtaking on this bike. Let's give it a go. Holy shit. Wow, okay. So coming from a 250cc motorbike in the past, where you have really had to think hard about whether you wanted to overtake or not, going 100k, I mean, we'd quite happily sit on 100k's an hour all day long, no problem at all, but there wasn't much puff left after 100 kilometers an hour. Not so on this bike. Oh my god. In 6th gear at 100, turn the throttle and away she goes. Hello ladies. Definitely a big difference. This nice sweeping corner, look at this. Fantastic. Love it. Oh yes, and another one? Don't mind if I do, thank you very much. Over we go. Oh yes. I'll say it again. This motorcycle thing, it's alright, isn't it? It's alright. I keep talking about it being Sunday afternoon. You can see, I don't know if you can see that on my instruments there. It says 11:45. I'm not lying to you. I just haven't set my clock on the bike yet. Haven't got around to doing it. That reminds me, I'll try and remember to do that when I get back. Oh, I'm so glad I came out this afternoon. Every time I get this bike out, it just puts a big smile on my face. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? Another red car. Didn't I overtake you? What are you doing back here? Every time I turn the camera off, I come across another fantastic view. I may as well just leave the damn thing on this road, I think. Alright, we're coming into another little town now called Kingsthorpe. Which is great. You can see we're checking in on our fuel situation. 196 k's now on the trip meter. We're down to 1 bar on the old fuel tank. No fuel light flashing or anything like that yet. So I believe we're still in the safe zone, but I do always get a little bit nervous when we get down to the 1 bar. I should have, this is what I mean, I should theoretically have another 50 kilometers to go before I even hit the reserve tank, and yet we're on 1 bar of fuel. So something, I don't know if it just must give you a lot of warning perhaps, but it certainly makes it difficult to judge exactly how much further you've got to go, which is the whole point of this ride, I suppose, is just to figure that out and see exactly how much range is in the girl. All right, we're about to cross the train line here. No trains whatsoever. I don't think I've ever seen a train come through that intersection, through that crossing. Intersection? Is it? It's not really an intersection, is it? That's not the right word. Through that crossing. All right. And that's about all of Kingsthorpe. Not much to it. There's not much to Goombungee. There's even less to Kingsthorpe. All right, so now we're on our way out to the highway. You can see there, that's Gowrie Mountain. Right across the way. Which again, mountain is, they're being very generous with the word mountain. It's more of a big hill, but there you go. And it's interesting that it's actually, depending on what angle, especially the way the highway comes past it, it looks like a single mountain. It's an optical illusion. It's actually 2 separate mountains, completely separate, that just sort of merge into one as you look at them from the angle of the highway. So they've called it Gowrie Mountain, but really it's Gowrie Mountains, plural. Big silos there. As you can see sort of now, looks like a single structure, but as we ride past, I'll show you that it's actually 2. And like I said, you get up to the top of Gowrie Mountain at sunset on the right day, my God, it is absolutely gorgeous. I'll put some photos over the top now of some of the sunset pictures that I've taken from the top of Gowrie Mountain, just so you can see what I'm talking about. And I think you'll agree there, it's quite a view. Absolutely beautiful. All right, we're about to get on the highway here and ride past Gowrie Mountain / mountains. And hopefully I can put this red car behind us, because they are being extremely cautious with the old speed limit. Dispatched, just like that. All right, I'll get up a bit further where you can see the mountains as 2 separate things, and I'll talk to you then. All right, there we go, riding past Gowrie Mountain, and you can very clearly see now that it's got 2 different peaks with, I guess, sort of a connecting dip in the middle, I suppose. At a stretch you could say it's 1 mountain, but I think you're stretching. You've actually got to do a bit of a climb to get up there. The road doesn't go to the top, the road only goes into that dip. I don't know if you can see the house up there that was up there in the dip, and then you've got to walk the rest of the way to the top. Not much of a trail either, I can tell you. It's quite snake country up there. So not something I would necessarily recommend in the heat of summer, but I'm glad I did it to get those spectacular sunset pictures that I got. That was a gorgeous afternoon. All right, so there's not really much to look at now. We're just going to be on the highway. It slows right down to 80 kilometers, as you probably just saw, for the entire rest of the duration of the highway, for, again, reasons that are alien to me. But again, I've got about 30 kilometers or so, roughly, give or take, maybe-ish, before I get back home, 20 or 30 Ks. We should be fine with our fuel budget. We should be fine. And in fact, there's a fuel station on the corner up here that I think I'm just going to roll straight past. It reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where Kramer's taking the car out for a test drive and seeing how close to E they can get. Woo! Oh, good old Seinfeld. So I'll get a bit further on and into town proper, and I'll talk to you then to let you know whether I made it or not. Fingers crossed. Well, we're back in civilization and we're completely fine. Look, 217 kilometers. We're still on a single fuel bar. No problems at all. Guys, I don't know what you were stressing about. I really don't. There was no problem. There never was a problem. I wasn't worried. You were worried. Easy. All right, we are well and truly back in civilization again now, so this is where I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Make sure you give the video a like if you had fun, if you enjoyed the ride along. Subscribe if you want to come along on more. Otherwise, I'm going to get on home. I'm going to give the bike a little bit of a bug cleansing, and I'll catch you all again on the next one. Take care. We'll see you out there.